By stealing hundreds to thousands of dollars from his customers, Ray Reynolds has turned a business transaction into a personal one and put targets on every one of his family's back. What a horrible father. Great job, Ray. Before I started with Ray Reynolds and the Giving Days Foundation, I had a 780 personal credit score and an 80 plus corporate credit score. Now, after their help and theft, I have a 700 credit score, and even though I still pay my bills as agreed, I made 4+ purchases for $75,000 and did not receive 1/2 millionth. Once again, 1/2 millionth or less of what I purchased over a 1.5 year period. This is theft, and this is a Ponzi scheme, and Ray Reynolds and Monica Perez belong in jail. You will hear recordings of Ray Reynolds people saying crazy things and how there seems to be a lot of people upset with them. For some unknown reason, Ray Reynolds and any of his 20+ aliases, and why would somebody have 20+ aliases unless he's committing crimes and or hiding his true assets and identity? Like the names Dana Reynolds, where he was supposedly convicted of a tax evasion, where he went to jail for 18 months. He likes to commit crimes by stealing hundreds to thousands of dollars from me and likely hundreds to thousands of other good customers of the Giving Days Foundation, a nonprofit that he is totally in control of 100%. All because he says he's worth $3,000 an hour. That's a joke. Criminals like him and Monica Perez belong in jail. They're not worth crap. Meanwhile, the company I manage and me are out at $75,000 plus over $10,000 in interest from waiting 1.5 years for Ray Reynolds and Dana Reynolds, whatever he calls himself, his 20+ aliases, and Monica Perez to do their frickin' jobs, which they chose not to do. They're criminals and belong behind bars. Seeing how it's unlikely that I will get the money back, and it seems that the authorities do not care how much harm this bastard, this pitiful man who is portraying himself as good and a pastor and operating a 401c3 charity, supposedly doing good, is actually doing harm, hurting, preying on small business owners and hundreds to thousands of good people trying to start over and build their businesses, stealing hundreds to thousands of dollars from each person. And now he's running specials, likely trying to get as much money out of everybody as possible. I guess I have to stand up to these criminals, Ray Reynolds and Monica Perez, myself. But if you want to help, contact the FTC at www.ftc.gov and file a written complaint, because it's the only way to put these criminals behind bars. Evidently, it can take 6+ months to force him into court, and they need to hear from many people to put these criminals away. I guess one person's proof of audio recordings, emails, pictures, and signed documents may not be enough. Many of Ray's webinars clearly sounds like he's bragging, saying all of his kids are far better than us, or far better than anyone's kids, that they are far better than their friends are or other relatives, that him stealing your money or my money or likely hundreds of other people's money doesn't matter as long as he gets paid for his crimes of $3,000 an hour, either personally or through benefits or through corporate founder pay, or likely what's going on is the nonprofit pays for all of his toys, his cars, his computers, his equipment, office space, buildings, helicopter. In other words, he has his for-profits buy these items and then he leases them at the highest price possible to his nonprofit. Okay, so the nonprofits are should say his for-profits, holding companies and profit companies are making a fortune. They're making the equity on these, so these items are getting paid over and over and over again, okay, by him, his nonprofit leasing them. So he's getting richer and richer at the cost of the nonprofit and all the people he stole from of the Giving Days Foundation on behalf of him, the founder who controls 100%. Ray Reynolds, or Dana Reynolds, is the horrible father. He may only value his kids, but if he did, he wouldn't be bragging about them while committing crimes of theft of his own customers, especially through a nonprofit, or portraying himself as a pastor and committing crimes unless he didn't care about his kids after all. He is purposely putting his own kids at risk, putting targets on their backs, all because of his own criminal acts and business practices, for them to be ridiculed, beaten up, badmouthed, like he has to many of his customers. It doesn't matter. You're just a peon. This guy makes no sense at all. He thinks he's better than everyone and thinks his kids are better than anyone. And that's always what a criminal thinks. And he is likely teaching his own kids to be criminals too. That's why Ray Reynolds and Monica Perez belong in jail, and anyone helping them. He has purposely brought his own family into this mess, and everyone needs to be put pressure on the entire family for him to turn himself into the police to be prosecuted or to pay back the stolen money immediately or go to jail. I would be disgraced if Ray Reynolds or Dana Reynolds was my father. Your kids deserve 1 million plus times better, but you made them targets. You're the worst father ever, Ray Reynolds. You say you're always the best at everything. This time, you're the worst, where it's supposed to matter the most, family. I have audio recordings, emails, pictures, and signed documents as proof. So whatever Ray Reynolds, Dana Reynolds, or Monica Perez or the Giving Days Foundation are saying, they're lying. This is only escalating. I won't stop till Ray Reynolds, Dana Reynolds, and Monica Perez are put in jail, or all the money is paid back plus interest due to the company I manage. $75,000 plus $10,000 in interest. Ray said we have to stand up for ourselves, and so I'm calling all-out war on Ray Reynolds, Dana Reynolds, and his family. I think it's about time that everybody knows the truth about these criminals, Ray Reynolds and Monica Perez, turning these criminals into the FTC and get them off the streets now. Go to www.ftc.gov right now. Once again, www.f as in Frank, T as in Tom, C as in Charlie.gov, G-O-V, right now. Ray thinks just because big companies have been indicted for illegal acts and got away with it, that he too can get away with it. And he's counting on it to happen to him. He's counting on you guys not doing anything. He's counting on all this to blow over, or, his relationships with the government supposedly that he had in the past, either because he was stolen and used or whatever, if that's even true. There could even be a chance he was working for the CIA. I don't know. But the problem is the government needs to clamp down on this guy, and obviously they don't want to. They know what he's doing, and he's operating illegally. Ray, you're not a provider or a protector. You're a criminal, hurting others and your family. You belong in jail. Tell your son you screwed up big time so he doesn't end up in jail like you. Here's a little recording for what Ray said.
Hello? Yes, good morning. Hello. So this is good morning. Thank you for calling Credit Hotline. How may I help you? Yes, the Giving Days Foundation, Ray Reynolds and Monica Perez stole $75,000 from me. Hello? Hello, how you doing? David, you're going to have some big problems. All right, that's okay. What can I do for you? You stole $75,000 from me. I want it back. Yeah, by the time I'm telling you, you're going to owe $1 million. Well, that may be. That's not the guy you pissed off. That may be better. Hey, between your home, your girlfriend, your shower, all your bullshit. Whatever. I'm going to put $4 to 0. I'm going to close your accounts, and I'm going to make sure you're bankrupt. You pissed off the wrong guy. I'm going to put your social literally online and sell it for $20. You shouldn't pissed me off.
That and then this.
It's never the same, and it's always my fault, and I'm told to spend money that I don't have, okay, that I don't have coming in, okay. How am I going to do all this stuff? Yet I'm paying you guys. I understand what you're talking about. And like I said, it's not an exact science. There are some things we have to work through. Okay. Let's go to the credit card company and say back then, and they said, hey, it needs to be this way. That was it. Right. They can change whatever they want to change. We have no control over that. They give no warning of the changes, no information of what to do. They just complain. Dr. Reynolds says, hey, I can do just about anything. Just because he can does not mean he will. Okay. And every time you call upsetting Monica or upsetting the flow of what we need to do with our phones and our other clients and our other credit repair, I make a phone call to inquire on a problem. If that upsets them, they're unprofessional and they don't have the job that they should have. You know, there's a process. If I buy something and I don't get what I'm supposed to be buying or what I paid for, of course I'm going to call. Of course I'm going to say, hey, there's a problem here. This needs to be corrected. And if you don't fix that problem, I'm going to keep calling to have that problem fixed, or I'm going to have you turned into the police station. That kind of puts you in a bad spot. We're advising you. We're giving you advice for free. We're not charging you. I didn't buy advice. I paid money for a purchase. I don't understand what they're thinking they're doing. They have no clue what their job is. And you think that this consulting that we've been doing with you over the last year and a half is something that you've been getting for free? We have not charged you for it. Okay. That takes time up from us. Like, I'm losing commission being on the phone with you. Okay. Monica was losing commission being on the phone with you because there are other clients that we have to deal with. Every time we have to go and stop what we're doing. They have other clients they have to steal from, is what she's saying. So all these people who are giving them money for a purchase, for assistance, they can't take care of them, but they're just taking their money more and more and more and more, and they're providing them with crap. We have to lessen what it is that we're charging our other clients because we're having to deal with, because you got upset or you're not the only client that gets upset about what's going on. We have quite a few. Nicole, I lose commission every single time. Nicole, I made a... So she just stated there are quite a few people who get upset who aren't getting what they're supposed to be getting. Very clear. Here's even a new person. She's only been with the company for 3 or 4 months. What happens to all the other people who've been with the company a lot longer, if in fact there are? There could be thousands of customers who just gave up because they've been bullied and loudmouth talked to and pressured, and they paid hundreds, if not thousands of dollars, and they got nothing in return.
Except for manipulation.
Purchase. I did not purchase information. However, I did buy the billionaires course, and that got changed 3 to 4 times as far as the dates. Okay, and without notice at all, I got different dates, and I had planned to actually drive down to California, and literally within hours before I drove, I got an email saying it's called off. What? Well, if I would have been in California, I would have been furious. Okay, because I paid. And like I said, I absolutely understand that one. I paid $30,000 and I got crap. I was informed crap. I didn't even have, they didn't even provide